Historically, there has been a lot of UFO sightings around the Aleutian Islands, and there are 57 volcanoes throughout the Aleutian Islands. And it seems that some of these volcanoes have some very peculiar activity around them.
But east of the Aleutian Islands is a large area that has become even more notorious for strange phenomena. It is called the Alaska Triangle.
The Alaska Triangle is an area roughly between Anchorage, Juneau, and Barrow, Alaska, more or less running along the border of the Canadian territories and the state of Alaska.
The Alaska Triangle can be likened to the Bermuda Triangle, where really strange things happen, seemingly without explanation.
Within this region of anomalous activity stands Mount Hayes, one of Alaska's tallest peaks, and a place where UFO sightings are reported with great frequency.
Many people have seen UFOs, flying saucers, strange lights flying in and around Mount Hayes. Now, there's no road that can go up there. The only way to get to Mount Hayes is to actually fly there, which most people don't do. So what are these craft that are flying around Mount Hayes?
For decades, eyewitness testimony was the only evidence to support the notion that Mount Hayes was a UFO hotspot. But in 1995, declassified documents revealed that Mount Hayes featured prominently in a top-secret government project called Stargate.
Researchers were looking through CIA documents and they found evidence of a project underneath Mount Hayes. And they say they saw written in these records that it was actually an alien underground base in this area.
Researchers were astounded to find a reference to an extraterrestrial base in official CIA documents. And just as intriguing is how this information was obtained. According to the declassified documents, the existence of an alien base beneath Mount Hayes was gleaned from a top-secret experimental investigation technique used by Project Stargate, a technique called remote viewing.
Remote viewing was used by the CIA all during the Cold War, and this is really a psychic projection technique where from one location, the remote viewer can look into a different place on the Earth's surface, is able to project his vision there and able to see what is going on.
Project Stargate had a specific purpose of using remote viewers, quite literally psychic spies, to find information on what the Soviets were up to.
The most famous remote viewer to come out of the Stargate project was a man named Pat Price. Price was the first to report what he believed to be an alien base under Mount Hayes.
He would sit down and draw what he sees, and he was deadly accurate on his predictions. One time, Pat Price remote viewed Mount Hayes and saw that there was structures that were under the mountain, tubes, tunnels, and he was intrigued by that, so he went deeper.
Pat Price saw within Mount Hayes what he described as geographical instrumentation. He saw computers. He also described these strange humanoid creatures that were within the mountain. And they were working alongside human personnel, which he believed were military personnel.
Price began to fear that he had seen something he wasn't supposed to see, and told friends that his remote viewing of the secret base under Mount Hayes had put him in grave danger.
In Las Vegas, just as he checked in to the Stardust, somebody deliberately bumped into him and he felt a sharp pain in his leg. And that evening, he started to feel unwell. And the following morning, he had convulsions and he died.
What's really strange about Pat Price's death is that the hospital didn't even notify the wife, and they had him cremated.
I think it is fair and reasonable to ask the question if Pat Price's mysterious death does not enter into a long lineage of similar tragic deaths of people that are whistleblowers or are stepping out of line and saying things they shouldn't say about things they have witnessed or know about.